does everyone spend their end of their workday? It's 6 p.m. Got all my bills paid with the with the money that came in, and now I'm hungry, and I have food for something that isn't $1.50 hot dog from Costco. That is a good tip, though. If you're at a bind and you only have a literal couple bucks in your pocket, that's one way to do it, and that's how I've been doing it a day or two of the week. So, yeah, I'm gonna actually spend $10 on a meal tonight. So I'm curious how everyone spends their evening. So if you find this video, let me know how you spend your time after work. It's a Wednesday. I'm getting towards weekend mode. I won't be traveling. I did go through my finances to figure out how much I spend. Between each paycheck, I spend less than $100, which is a week. So I've got other expenses I've had to take care of, like my bills, my debt, the phone, which is a bill, gas. I haven't been going very far, so one tank of gas is about 40 bucks here in Oregon. So that's what I've been spending about once a week. Now, actually, a full tank gets me almost 2 weeks. So, yeah, so I just went through my bills to do a little bit of cutting the fat off the steak, trimming the fat. So I figured I can spend less than $100 on eating out. Obviously, one of the biggest challenges is not having access to a kitchen. And then even if I had a kitchen, one of the challenges when you live alone is eating and not wasting food. So if you go to the grocery store, you generally can't buy food in allotments of less than 2 servings of 2. So if you buy anything for yourself, like one of the cheap ways I keep myself fed is for $10 or I think $8, I can get the fried chicken. Just about every grocery store I've been to sells $8 fried chicken. So it's more chicken than I can eat in one sitting, but it's $8 for a full amount of food that keeps me satisfied. Or $9 gets me a rotisserie chicken. Again, so much chicken that it's more than I need for a meal. So where was I going with this? Yeah, I generally can spend $10 or less in keeping myself fed. There's a local bar down the road. For $9, I can get a beef sandwich. It's very good. I can tell when my body craves it. Good protein. And it's a bar, but I found out through talking with the bartender, I didn't know in the state of Oregon, I was afraid of not getting there in time. A couple times I got there after 9 and I didn't even realize the state of Oregon requires a bar to keep their kitchens open for as long as the bar is open, which is what I'm not used to in California. So that's always available to me as long as I got 10 bucks to spend. I mean, actually I spend 12. So the sandwich is 9, I spend 11. Yeah, so since the state of Oregon doesn't do sales tax, that's what I end up spending for that evening. And then I'll usually have water with it because given the budget, I do at the end of the week I'll have a beer for 7 bucks, but I generally, obviously, I'm in a financial bind, so I can't be blowing money on things I don't need. But for good mental health, I do need socialization, so at least 1 or 2 nights a week, usually either Thursday or Friday, I'll go and have my beer at the local brewery. So let me know how you spend your end of the day. Tonight won't be the day I have that beer because it's just Wednesday. And yeah, I was curious to see what I was actually spending. And I got a couple bills I can end. I have some storage at home in LA. I'm going to have one of my friends show up and cut the lock and gut everything. I'm going to be freed of a bunch of crap. I'm paying 80 bucks a week, 80 bucks a month to store. So that'll be a little bit easier towards, oh, that's the other thing. I had a little bit of stock saved. So that's gonna save me thousands. I forgot I had it. It's not a lot of money, but it's gonna get rid of one of my credit card bills. So I got a credit card debt that will be gone in a matter of a week or so. I gotta wait for the funds to settle. But yeah, I got kind of happy over that. But yeah, just having a cloud over your head. And it's not even so much that I've got debt. It's just the frustration of working below your worth. If you've ever had issues of self-worth, this is one of those situations where I can work very hard. I know I'm very good. Everyone I work with is ecstatic with my performance. But I'm working for half of what the market rate is for the job. So if you've ever found yourself in such a situation, you're not alone. And when you do see in the news everyone bitching and moaning about how American wages are less, I'm living it. I'm literally getting paid half of my worth as a temporary worker, and that employer hiring that temp agency wants me to hang in there for 6 months. The last few videos you've heard me bitch and moan. 3 months is fair. After that, it feels like exploitation. I'm thankful for this job because it's got me hit my hands on tools I haven't touched in a while and a few tools I've never touched. So I've actually sat down and updated my resume with those tools. So I am that much more marketable. And yeah, we'll see where that gets me. And this job interview I have at this MSP Saturday seems really excited just because I have that entrepreneurial experience. So I got an email from that company, that MSP, managed service provider, and they said that they were ecstatic that they saw the kind of resume that I have, but that I wouldn't necessarily be a great fit, but if I wanted to have a phone call, I should call, and I did. So I guess it's a father-son operation. So I talked to the father, and that was a 5 or 10 minute call, and now I have an in-person interview with the son Saturday. I will be shaved, and I'm thinking of, well, I will be in a ponytail. So that is how I present myself, if you're curious. I've had a few comments about, well, maybe you should shave and cut your hair. Yeah, I know. I know how to show up to an interview, shaved and with my hair pulled back. So anyway, that's what's up this Saturday, 10 in the morning. I guess they do kind of like the Geek Squad and an MSP operation. So they have an outlet where you can bring your computer, do the manual labor on desktop support and house calls. They have a technician. I don't know if I'll be doing some of those house calls, but they're doing 3 types of business intake, just as I was as my sole proprietorship. They have a shop, they have an MSP, which means they service businesses, and that's usually done remotely, or a technician shows up and handles the labor for hardware or software issues. That's what the plan is, because this 20 bucks an hour ain't frickin' keeping me fed. I could pull it off if I didn't have the debt, but I need to nail down the debt I've accrued over the last few years of bad business. COVID was one of maybe 2 major factors that has killed my sole proprietorship. Me choosing an office that was kind of falling apart, but was bigger and also cheaper. That's a tough lesson to learn. Anyway, that's where I'm going. So yeah, I'm looking forward to at least having an option. Anytime you have options that are more than one thing to choose from, that's a positive. So I interview well. I know I can close an interview pretty well. Most of the interviews I've had have turned into job interviews. I'm articulate, I'm concise, and I can talk the talk. You can tell when someone knows what they're talking about when they articulate details instead of wishy-washy. You start talking with gibberish, and they know you're just flib-flubbing through the conversation trying to pretend you know your stuff. Obviously, if you've done the work, you have details that someone who's never done it can't explain. Anyway, this is my 3rd video. Is it my 3rd or no? I did one this morning. There we go. Oh, and I did lunch. Yes. No, wait. I'm a little tired. Yeah, last night I didn't have the best night's sleep. It was a little chilly. And then of course I had a ton of jargon that needed placing in my head. So there we go. Have a great rest of your Wednesday evening. Please say hello in the comments and keep my conversation going.